once again to Vicious Rights, and of course I'm your host, your YouTube Messiah, often imitated, never duplicated, as well as late-gearing WWE Champion to Vicious M. We are talking about Raw as we was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Although, not gonna lie, majority of my freaking Twitter feed at Tim Vicious, my Twitter feed has been not even buzzing remotely about WWE at all this past, from the time of last week's episode until today. Barely anything on WWE, so no current news on that, but mostly nothing big going on in that or all around, more so because everyone's just freaking hyped up for All In. And honest to God, I can't blame them, you know. It is, well, to put it simply, it's the WrestleMania for indie promotions, you know. And I know I've had a few people ask me, hey, Vicious rants All In? And to put it simple, yes. The main reason why, more than anything, is because we did not allow Flip Gordon anywhere near the Vicious Studios. That's why we're allowed to be All In. So with that said, let's get on with this show. Raw, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, home of maple syrup, beavers, the Maple Leafs, and, well, Canada's two greatest exports. And I actually, not even lying, this is not a joke, this isn't a rib, though, nothing like that. When I was in college, I based a thesis that Canada has two great exports. Maple syrup and drop-dead gorgeous women wrestlers. And I provided proof on that because, you know, name me one women's wrestler that has come out of Canada that even looked remotely below a 7. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, with that said, Raw starts off with Roman coming down, you know, greeting the fans. He fist bumped the one kid, you know. That's always awesome to see, fan appreciation like that. Yep. Comes down, talks about on how he's a fighting champion. He's been going around working the towns, unlike Brock did, and wants Braun to come on out. Braun comes out, he gets right to him and says point blank, the only reason you're still champ is because your boys saved you at the last minute. You talk about being a workhorse, what's up with that? Roman basically pulls him out, says, Shield is a group, we are the workhorses of this company, you know, all that and the other. Says, you want to dance again, me and you, we can go one-on-one, big boy. Paraphrasing, of course. Braun says, you know what? I'm going to give you some time to think about this and get ready. I'm cashing this in. Be ready, Hell in the Cell. You and me, we step inside that cell. Again, paraphrasing. So we're going to get Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. Hell in the Cell. 10 gets you 20. At one point, Braun Strowman is either going to power slam Roman Reigns out of the cell, or Roman Reigns is going to spear Braun Strowman out of the cell. Yep. I just see one of those two variables happening right off the bat. Aside from that, also, the big takeaway from that is Braun Strowman's admitting he's cashing in. You know, I think that's like the first time that a babyface has admitted that they're cashing in early since Rob Van Dam cashed his in against John Cena at One Night Stand. You know, but either way, after they do that, out comes Ziggler and McIntyre, and they talk about on how, you know, and then they talk about on how Seth cheated to get his belt, just like they cheated Braun out of getting his belt. And, you know, it's Roman's like, whoa, cheated? You mean, did he cheat when he put your face down into the mat. And just left it at that, really. And then then McIntyre issued a tag team challenge for them two against them two. Then out comes Corbin, who is now the current acting general manager. Which, take a sidebar here, speculate on that. Personal prediction on what I think is going to happen more than likely. This either Angle is going to be phased out quietly, or more than likely they're going to wind up having a match with Angle versus someone for the right to be Raw general manager again. Now that said though, now back to the lecture at hand. Out comes Corbin, says, "Oh, I'm the one in charge. Hot dogging like this is what wound up leading Kurt to get out of here. So we'll do this match, but it's not going to be now. That's going to be for the main event tonight. In the meantime, I myself shall be in a match, and it is going to be against Finn Balor. And that match starts now." Then out comes Finn. So we get Corbin versus Balor. Corbin, he played the power game throughout the entire match, you know, being the big guy, you know, holding the hand, stopping the little guy from trying to take a swing, like, yeah, basically. And it started to come to an end when Corbin, he pulled a chair out, just as Finn was starting to build a comeback, hit him with the gut, hit him in the gut, cracked him on the back. Then they called for Then they called for it to be ended via DQ, and then Corbin got on the mic and said, "Hey, listen, I've had a lot going on, so I forgot to mention, this is a no disqualification match, so restart it. So they restarted it. Finn started to get a few shots in, and then Corbin, boom, wound up doing end of days after whacking him with a chair, and then 1, 2, 3, so that was it. Honestly, I hope this just ends now, or, because if not, more than likely it's going to end at Hell in a Cell. So next up we got women's action, Sasha Banks versus Dana Brooke, and, well, yes, this was an obvious squash match for Sasha to get the win on. However, big takeaways. One, there was really nice back and forth at the start, you know, at the start of the match. That was nice, you know. Something you don't see a whole lot of when you go and you see squash matches like that. Second, you see the vignette, or not the little vignette, the backstage segment with Apollo and Dana talking and then Titus coming over. You know, and then now they're just like, when Titus comes around. So, you know, leading up to an inevitable split. Yes. So yes, she took a loss. However, it's to build the story to later on. So with that being said, now next match. By the way, Sasha won, obvious spank statement before I forget that. You're welcome, Wade. Seth Rollins comes out, issues an open Intercontinental Challenge. So, and out comes, drum roll please. Drum roll please. Are we not getting drum rolls? We can't afford drums? Seriously? Not even like 2 little paint buckets you could do bum 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 on? Oh, come on, guys. Swear, sometimes the people I work with on this show. Anyways, out comes Kevin Owens. He talks about on how he's one of Canada's own. Of course, you know, not Toronto, because, you know, he says someplace from far better, Marieville, Quebec, and then starts speaking French, in which case, you know, the issue between Canada and Quebec, well, that's just it, you know. So, yeah. Now this, real nice start, absolutely loved the match. Owens, he was in good control after the break. There was great back and forth. It was just, this was hands down match of the night. This was the match of the night here, folks. You know, These two, you know, watching these two, it just made me go back and think, man, you rewind a few years ago, these two tore it up, and these two tore it up with a good feud with Hell in a Cell and all. You know? Just thinking about things like that. Now, match came to an end when Owens, he was in control. You know, he got up to the top. He went to go turn around to do a moonsault. He missed. Just as he got up, though, Seth, boom, caught him with a kick, and then curb stomp. 1, 2, 3, that was it. Rollins won, and now after that, then Owens just sits there like, and then they cut the commercial, and when they come back, you still see Owens sitting there. He's now sitting in a chair in the ring, and just, I quit! That's all he left it at, and then walked out. So, a lot of Twitter trolls and marks were blasting Twitter saying, oh, Owens is going to be all in now. Owens is going to be in. No. No. Because honestly, here's the thing. A little bit after this, they did a backstage segment with Corbin, and it was perfect because it wound up having, because it explained it right there, you know. They are openly talking about on how Owens left. So it's obvious they're working this. You know, he's not quitting. So that's all it is, plain and simple. So excuse me. Next up we got tag team action. We got the B team going against the Revival again. Boy, I just feel like we're getting all kinds of all-in stuff now talked about on this show. We talked about it at the beginning, we talked about it just now with Owens, and now we're talking about Cody's favorite team, the Revival. So yeah, the B team, they were pretty much leading right up until the break. After that, the Revival, they took control after it was going pretty decent, it was good. Match came to an end. Dash Wilder wound up doing a blind tag, then right out of nowhere, boom, hit the shatter machine, and then 1, 2, 3, that was it. It was on Doubt, it was on Bo. After that, then they, just as they were leaving, they go back in, they beat up Curtis Axel, and then they cut a promo saying on how the B team have disgraced the tag team legacies, you know, going back to guys like the Road Warriors, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. Surprisingly, those were the only two teams that they mentioned. But, either way. They did that. They cut the promo saying that, and then they were saying, let this be a reminder to you boys that we can take these titles off of you at any time. And then they just dropped them and left. So they made it official a little bit later. Next week on Raw, we're going to get a tag title match between them two. And this, I honestly feel like this is going to be the Revival's moment to get the gold. So yeah. Next up, we got women's action. It's Natayla versus Alicia Foxx. However, before that came to be, there was a lot of stuff that happened right before that. Elias came out to try and do music, but really it just... Well, again, I take nothing away from the guy's in-ring work. It's really good. He is a really good in-ring worker. It's just the gimmick. I don't like the gimmick and I don't like the look because he looks like this one freaking hipster that lives a few doors down from me. And it's this smelly-ass hipster honest to God, he smells like he hasn't showered in days. So yeah, that's my issue with him. So yeah, anyways, Elias is out there, he's doing his thing, strutting his guitar, getting ready to cut a song while he's also trashing Toronto, and then out comes Toronto's own, and my key point to making my college thesis about Canada's two greatest exports, Trish Stratus. And folks, let's just keep in mind, Trish, she's in her early 40s, and oh, she's still got it. That girl still got it, man. So yeah, she comes out, tells Elias to go shut his mouth, you know, get on out of here. She don't like that he's shit talking about her town, you know, all the while she's won 7 championships and is a Hall of Famer, whereas he hasn't won any. And then she belts him. After that, out comes Natayla along with Ronda Rousey. And then comes Alicia Foxx, accompanied by Alexa Bliss. Alexa cuts a promo on Alexa cuts a promo. Fuck, I just did a TNA botch. Alexa Bliss cuts a promo on Trish to hype up their match against them two at Evolution. And sidebar, sources have told me that they are putting signs up at the Evolution pay-per-view saying all men must wear pants at all times. Now back to the main story. Alexa Bliss comes out, cuts a promo on Trish, talking about how she's going to beat her, and she brought an old friend along, and out comes Mickie James. Whoo! Which case, so, had Trish Stratus, Alicia Foxx, Ronda Rousey, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, Natayla. Whew, man, I had to reach for some heart pills, man. I wasn't sure I was going to make it through that match. Whew. But yeah, match was what it was. It was a piss break match. It was a piss break match. It wasn't really, the match was just there to hype up the fact for Bliss's match coming up. You know, that's all it was, plain and simple. And it was to put Natayla on TV just to, you know, build her up more because, and I'm going to want to watch on how I say this because I don't mean this in a negative way. But, you know, more so as a sympathy act because of the Anvil passing recently. And I'm not saying that in a mean or negative way. However, that it has been the case plenty of times with other people, you know. So next matchup we get Bobby Lashley doing a handicap match, and this match came to be because of that Baron Corbin segment I told you about earlier. Bobby Lashley came in, said, hey listen, Baron, I know you're busy and all, but where's my match? Where's my match for tonight? Yeah, I got your match. Yeah, your match is going to start in a few minutes. Oh, who's my opponent? Well, you know, I'm sorry, there's been so much paperwork and stuff to do. I haven't been able to get a chance. I don't really remember. But don't worry, your match is coming up now, so so you'll be get on out there, bud. Okay, he's out there, and then Corbin gets on the Titantron, saying point blank, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, it's a handicap match. Here's your opponent." Trying to be like a snide-heeled dick authority figure. And then out come the Ascension, which, again, piss break. Lashley obviously got the win. Next up, we get Jinder Mahal versus Dean Ambrose. This match came to be because earlier they showed a backstage segment of Ambrose just doing his thing, and then Mahal comes over, hyping up his find your inner peace, kumbaya stuff. And then Ambrose says, you know, I am visualizing something. What do you visualize? I see me. You're good. What else? I see something else. What else do you see? I see you. I see me beating you, kicking your teeth in, driving your face into the ground. You know, I think I want to do that now. And then that's led to this match. So, now, decent start. Liked on how Jinder was kind of leading it for the most part. You know, also, ladies, I will let you have this moment because as much as I just full-blown man-hoard it right there with the women's segment, you gals deserve this moment because Ambrose, he took his shirt off to do the match. So yes, you may bask in the glory that is shirtless Ambrose. And all in all, though, it was kind of a ho-hum sort of match. Ambrose got the win using the Dirty Deeds. And then we lead to the main event of the night. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman going against Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre. Now, Roman, he was the first one in the ring. Match started out decent. Heels were, you know, Roman got the advantage, going strong. Then right out of nowhere, boom. Heels catch on. They wind up slowing. They wind up grounding Roman. They work him good. And just as Roman looks like he gets the hot tag in on Braun, crowd explodes. Everyone's freaking out because Drew McIntyre got the hot tag also, and he's just standing in there like, and he's just staring a hole through Braun Strowman like, you gonna step in? What's going to happen? Which, by the way, I didn't realize I needed to see Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre until now. And then he's just standing there. And standing there. And standing there. So it leads to a count-out loss. All the while the ref is counting, all the while McIntyre and Ziggler are continuing to beat up Roman. Leads to an inevitable count-out loss because Braun never came in. And he stood on the apron the whole time. Afterwards, Braun came in and then started to beat up Roman. Out comes Ambrose to try and do the save. They wind up destroying Ambrose. Then out comes Rollins to try and do the save, and then they destroy Rollins. So, in all likelihood, we're going to wind up getting a trios match between these three, leading up some point before Hell in a Cell. So, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, like on normal, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go on back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure you look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. And I'm also do also have another account if I get ghosted or get put in Twitter jail, Tim_Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you look for me on there, on that Facebook gimmick, make sure you let me know you found me on there from here or from my Twitter at TimVicious. So I don't think you got your pre-drone going. Also, folks, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, my two good brothers. I am Danny Sunday, and Oliver Ben, who's the executive producer for this show. He did also provide the music for this week's show. Make sure you check it out. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. Also, folks, don't forget to hit Ollie up for one of these Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support. These are hands down one of the most comfortable shirts I've ever had. Cranky Grandpa, Dazzy MWP. Aaron, I'm sorry, honey. I keep on fucking up. I do apologize. From the bottom of my cold black heart, I do apologize. But folks, like I always tell you, you love me great, you hate me